Kia ora koutou. It's been a few days since I last placed a live trade, and honestly, it was starting to feel like a bit of a mental block. But today, I finally pulled the trigger. NDRA was the main stock on the scanner this morning. Huge mover, went from 550 to a high of 1114, then higher after the open. Definitely outside my price range, but it was strong and set the tone for the session. RLBY was another one, popped from $8 to 19. Again, way too expensive for me. There were some massive runners out there today, but let's break down my trade that I took. So I didn't trade either of those. I traded ZVSA. So ZVSA popped around just before 8 o'clock. Was a lower price stock and was more affordable for me. I could actually afford 100 shares on it. So I saw it popping up here and it made a high of around 113, then pulled back below $1. I waited for it to confirm that it was actually coming back up and breaking $1, and then got in on this pullback here at 101. So I actually got in quite high on this candle. I was actually looking for it to, which it did break through that previous green candle, but it didn't hold. It pulled back and I held through that pullback, pushed again, and again it dropped down to 92 cents. But I thought it had a good chance of rallying off the low. Kind of wish I'd bought in down here around 93, 94 cents, but in at 101 and didn't go below, didn't break below this previous red candle here, so didn't hit my stop. It pushed up to 107, 106, and it hit 110, 111, and I decided to hit the sell key. So I ended up getting out at 110, and then it kept going up to 120, and then eventually 123. So didn't really capitalize fully on that move. I knew the stock wasn't probably going to move massively, but I thought it would get to 110, 120 at least, to challenge that previous high of 113. So I got out a little bit early on that one. In at 101, 9 cents up to 110. And then it pulled back, rolled over, and that was pretty much my trade for the morning. So only $9 profit. So first trade back in at least was green and on the positive side, but really the stock that I should have been trading or would have liked to have traded was NDRA. When I first got up in the morning, NDRA had already broken through here through the VWAP. I just turned on my computer and I was a bit late actually, to be honest. I should have been there around 6:30 and maybe I could have traded it. But it was in this, when I saw it, it had made that push through and was holding along around 650. And getting in around $6.50, the $0.50, would have been a decent entry, although you may have got stopped out here when it dipped down to 630. But definitely coming back up here off the 9 EMA, good entry here off the 9 EMA at 630, and then it ripped all the way up to 896. So that would have been an awesome trade, even with what could I afford on it? Maybe 20 shares, maybe 15 shares. It's gone from $6.50, almost $2 a share. So that would have been a decent trade. If I'd, got up here around 850, 860. And it killed back. I thought it was actually all over here. When it killed back down here and started coming below the 20 EMA, I thought, it's all over. So I actually started watching some other stocks around this area. And then I saw it was actually curling back up and I saw it pop up to here, pull back, and then rip again up to 991. So NDRA, obviously the most obvious stock this morning. After that, and then made some decent moves up to 11.15, 11.14. Then pulled back, and once again coming into the open, rallied again, and at the open made a new high around $12. And that was pretty much it. Went into a halt down, and that was all over for NDRA. But really strong stock during pre-market. It was awesome to see. And I even saw it at the open, actually, at the pre-market open. I was just watching the first 10 minutes of the open, and this was on my watch list, and I watched this make a decent move at the pre-market open as well. So good to see. Other stocks that sort of came up and I thought about trading were RLYB. RLYB. What is going on with my internet today? It is real slow. This stock popped up around 8:30, and I saw it popping up here and thought about getting in, looking for it to push through to $1, but in the end I didn't take it. When it pulled back down here, this is where I should have been entering in and break a VWAP, or that's a trade I tend to like to take if it's holding VWAP, and it was buying up here, lots of buying up on these red candles. It was a decent entry here at 68 cents, and a push through to 86 cents was quite good. At one stage I did think it was going to push through to $1, but then when it put in this big red candle back down to VWAP and didn't hold, I thought, nah, that's probably it for this stock, and pretty much was. So thought about taking the trade there at break of VWAP, but didn't get in, hesitated getting in, and felt like I was chasing when it was pushing up above 80 cents. And the other one was PROK, was in my price range. This was also a stock that looked pretty strong at the start of pre-market, and sort of went sideways, and then eventually broke up through VWAP and put in a decent move in pre-market. So I thought about taking an entry here at $1. That was back here actually, when it was up here. I thought about taking an entry here at $1, but didn't take it, and then it pulled back, rejected off VWAP, and then went back to about 90 cents. And then kind of went sideways. And I didn't see it again until it had broken through VWAP and had come back down and retested. I thought about taking an entry here at 110, 112, around that range, and then decided not to. I just hesitated on taking the entry here, and even the break as it broke through this high here over 120, 121, that would have been a decent entry. And then I made a nice push up to 163. But also the stock was a higher float, I think, on this stock. So PROK, yeah, $94 million float. So it was thickly traded, and yeah, sort of struggled with those. It did sort of crawl up, especially down below VWAP, but it obviously broke better up here. But around this time I was also watching NDRA, so I was sort of flicking between the two, so a bit of split focus on these two stocks. And this one I could have traded, and NDRA was outside my price range, so really I should have just focused on this and taken an entry on this stock to trade the stock as it was on the front side of this move, coming up through here. So not really good focus. I felt like after the 4 days off, I have lost that focus and just not in the zone properly yet. Ironically, if I take my indicators off here and add in, I think this is the right one, right version, might be. Ironically, my bot traded this pretty well. I've been still working on my bot and adding in some different criteria for it and trying a few different things. But this version of it actually traded it pretty well. Got in for the break of VWAP, took a profit target here at 125, so it was in at 114, took its profit at 125, so about 11 cents there. In again at 129, and exited here around 141, taking profit, and again entering here at 145 and exiting here at 157. So only taking, 11, 10 cents, 10 to 12 cents each time. This is set to a 5% profit target. So depending on the stock, it will place an order at the 5% profit target level. So I did pretty well on this. And this trade here, I think I've changed it since this morning, but this one actually got stopped out down here somewhere, but at the moment it's actually taking its profit all the way back up here at 170, but I don't count that because it's meant to stop out after this first red candle here. It should be stopping out around this level here at 149. So in at 157, out at 149, still not bad. So that actually, I'll bring up the strategy tester, says it would have made 135.46 on the 5 trades that it took, but I wouldn't count this one here. It's meant to stop out here, so maybe take $20 off that, and it would have made about $110 on trading the bot. So maybe I should have traded the bot instead. Oh, I did also take a trade at the open as well. I forgot that one. Break a VWAP here and pushed up, but I don't count that either because really I wasn't trading then, but I was watching it through this area here. So that was kind of ironic, but bot's still not in a place where I can trust it completely. It does some trades well, and then other trades it just gets wiped out on, and that was a relatively clean move on the front side. For this for the bot to work. That was pretty much it. So only the one trade today and profit of $9, and that's my first trade, I think, for July. So I have to check actually. Did I not trade last week? Interesting. I'll have to check through in my, I don't think I did. I think I paper traded all last week. And then there was the holidays on July. Thursday I didn't trade, Friday I didn't trade because of the Independence Day, 4th of July holiday. And I'm not sure if I traded those 2 days because I took paper trades only, I think. Yeah, so today was the first day trading and a $9 profit. So that's good. But let's see if we can work on that and actually get a couple of bigger trades. So I'm still catching myself focusing too much on the big movers, the ones outside my range. But today I stayed patient and finally took a trade that made sense for me. It felt good to be back in a live trade, even if it was small. Every small step forward counts. I'm still in this, still refining and starting to get excited again about what's possible. Thanks for following along. If you're also navigating the ups and downs of trading, I'd love to hear how you're going. Drop a comment or hit follow to join me on the journey. I will see you tomorrow. Hei a pōpō.